Hey guys, so this is going to be part 2 of part 4, I guess part 5. It's still diamond level redstone. We're chugging along, we've already gotten through a lot of the math. Now we're going to do some crazier math, but this is going to be the funner one for some of you because whole binary to redstone, or binary to analog and analog to binary, we got that in there. We got signal queuing, so a line of signals, and then we're gonna go through signal speed a little bit just so we can understand why we build certain things certain ways. So the first setup we have here is division, and this is going to be under 15. So right here we have the dividend, the guy that's being divided out. Then right here we have the divisor. So we have 14 divided by 5 is going to be 2 remainder 4. So what we're doing is we're doing a 5 coming in, and we're checking every time. So we see the number and we check, then we subtract, then we check and subtract, just like the perfect subtraction. Once it won't reach a check, it will come this way, and since it didn't pass the check, it will stay on because this passes through. If you look over here, this check did pass, so this was turned off. So this is how you get the remainder, is you don't turn off what's left, and then you bring it through all the way through until you get to the end. So this is the remainder of 4. Alright, so all these lights going across, these aren't needed. I had this built a different way. I like to copy and paste a lot of my circuits, so sometimes I leave silly things on them. Anyway, so coming back, we had the 14, and it's being divided by 5. So every time a register hits and turns off the remainder, that register turns off a redstone torch. That redstone torch was the only thing keeping these ones from being added in to the 15 by doing 15 minus how many ever ones you got coming down, and then 15 minus the answer will invert it to 2. So you had 15 minus 2 is 13, and then 15 minus 13 is 2. It's our basic inverting, our basic tallying like we had over here. That's how you are going to tally up the next digit. If like the divisor was almost the base or something, and you were putting numbers in there, or you could do that a whole bunch of different ways, reasons why you need a dividend and a divisor. Tons of different math applications. So I took this and I just made it to where it was 2. So I had 13 checked and divided by 2. And as these turned off and on, every other 2 would shut off the last one. So when this was on, this bottom line would turn on. As it turns off, it goes up to the next one. As that turns on, the next one turns this off, and then turns this on. So this becomes analog to binary. It's almost using binary once you do this, the division by 2. because you're first dividing by 2 and then kind of just flicking it on and off, having the switches until, yeah, binary. I did try to make it smaller right here. Same thing, we got 15, all of them lit up. 14, 13, middle one taken out, that's 2, so 1, 2, 4, 8. And that is running off of little circuit checkers to see, like the first one is on, then it turns off. So each odd number turns the bottom on. And that's this guy. And then again it runs into binary to where it turns the next one off, the next level off when there's 2. It just keeps dividing itself by the carryovers by 2 until it gives you the binary, which, like I said, I don't like to work with binary, so this is a cool contraption, but I'm going to show you a way smaller way to do that. Alright, so we'll look at these in a minute. I know you guys are probably tired of math, but there was a few hot fixes that I wanted to show you. But while we're on binary, we got binary to signal strength. So this is 7, so that's a whole signal strength minus 7. So that's 15 minus 7 gives you signal strength 8. So now you're doing the same thing, you're doing 15 minus 15. Oh, yeah, 15 minus 15. And then the, oh goodness, what would that be? The subtrahend is the thing being subtracted. So all these numbers, this 15 is being subtracted by any of these numbers. And then the answer is getting subtracted out of this 15. So this 8 is because it's 15 minus 7 is 8. This 4 is because it's 11, so 15 minus 11 is 4. Over here is 13, so 15 minus 13 is 2. 14, so 15 minus 14, if you see over here, is 1. So all these turn each of these buttons into a signal of 1, 2, 4, or 8. So if I do 1 plus 4 is 5. 6, 7, whole signal strength of 15. So the first 4 digits of binary, you can see by doing this, and if you were to do the next 4 digits of binary and you're in base 16, then you could just keep going with this to where, like, the next 15 would shut off when the next one was on, and these guys turned off because it was 1 extra. So if you had like a counting machine ran along this, but again, I made this one smaller as well. So this is the basic one. I'll give you an overview, but we will get smaller than this. You can build this for fun if you want to, but yep, that's it. So now we're checking this guy out. So 3, 2, so 3 comes in, and it can't go through. Why? Because this guy can't go through. If this guy could go through, then this torch would turn off and let this guy go through. So what is this? This is just like our other machine on the other side. That's greater. Yellow is greater or equal to green. This side's going to be yellow. This side is going to be greater or less than or equal to this side. So if this is 4, then this can pass through. But if this is 5, it cannot. And we have that going on here to where yellow comes around, and if green is greater than yellow, then it will come down and turn off this torch, just like the other ones. But this is like if yellow was 1 less than green at that time. So same thing about the less than or equal to. So if green is far greater than yellow, then it will shut off these and allow them to pass. So we'll look into that right now. We got 133. So this is hundreds, tens, one spot. All right, so 133. So yellow is able to pass because it's smaller than green. That's at 322. So let's see, 322. So if we were to go 1 and 1 here, everything would pass through. But if we were to go 4, so even though it's, oh goodness, 320 something, since this is 411, then the bottom ones can pass through because these torches are off. Or I'm sorry, they cannot pass through because, oh goodness, where is it? This top torch right here is on because the yellow on the top is too high to pass through, or the green can't pass through here, so it doesn't send that signal through. But this one, the green can't pass through the yellow here, just a check of equal to, and that's what causes this torch to turn everything off. So all 3 of these torches are able to turn off. We had, what did we have? 411. So if we had 4, we'll set this to 2 so we can check what the middle would do. So we have 412 versus 421, and that won't go through. And you'll see this middle torch on because that's the one that can't pass, and it turns everything else off. So since they're so close, it just depends on one number. So it could be in the 1 spot or the 10 spot or the 100 spot that yellow is just too much, and that'll turn this machine off. And that was a long conversation for this little circuit. But yeah, so we have yellow is less than or equal to over here. We'll give an overview. These guys turn everything off. This green, if it's far greater, turns lower levels on. But like I said, this is greater than or equal to, like, comparatively to the whole number. So that's why the green doesn't lead up, is because, like I said, this line right here only goes down, and it only affects the lower levels. So if it was like 199, and then yellow was 200, then just because yellow is not getting signal on the bottom doesn't mean it's going to turn off the top. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Alright, so if we were looking at this machine right here, the division machine, I also made it facing up. And like I said, I love these lines because I have one here versus a green one here. Yeah, that was my sound effects. So what's happening here is first one, check. I believe, let's see, they're all checking on this side. All checking on this side. Oh, it's these ones. These are subtractions. Okay. So on this side it's being subtracted. On this side it's not. So this doesn't need to be in subtraction mode. So what's happening is we have 3 on this side. This is the dividend at 13. Oh, back to 13. So 13 divided by 3 is going to be 4 remainder 1. So quotient is 4 here. The remainder is way down here at 1. So how it's doing this is we have the back and forth right here, and then we have that answer coming over here, okay? And the remainder will be shut off from going down until these guys aren't lit up anymore. So this is where the remainder comes out, and it'll continue down from here. If you look, this one right here is not lit up, but this one is. So this signal can come from all of here, and it stops right here, but it's sent down at this point, and it won't affect the higher levels. And this signal is coming from being subtracted and checked by the yellow signal here. So we'll check, and if it checks that it can go through, then it will send it through. But if the next check says it can go through, then it'll cancel the last check, or the last remainder. And then once a remainder is canceled, then it so this is really confusing. So I have this line as a degrading signal. Okay, so at this one it's going to be full signal strength at 15. So then you got a jar here representing 15. I have a jar because it's right next to a redstone. But this is a full 15 signal block. And this is 15, so that'd be 0. But if you come down here, you're reducing by 1 extra over here, then another extra over here. So that's -2. So this one is going to be full signal strength. So 15, 14, repeat, 14, 13. And then every other light bulb that hits on is going to be minus another 2 as you go. So let's crank this up to 5. We have 13 divided by 5 is going to be 2, remainder 3. And if you look over here, the highest torch turned on is this one. So that's why you have this coming up at, let's see, so it's 15, 14, 13, 12, and then, oh, I'm sorry, these torches are sideways, so this would be 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. So since the first 2 are turned off, that gives you the 2 up here. The third one right here gives a whole 15, -1, then -1, so 13, and then 15 minus 13 is 2. So yeah, each level pops 1 off as you go down if it passes the checks. A little overview. This is kind of a 3D circuit though, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. But I think I've given about every angle you can on this thing. One thing, this torch turns on and shuts this off. Why is it yellow? So if there's nothing being divided, oh goodness. I mean, if there's nothing that it's being divided by, then it's not going to show up. Probably should have put that differently, though, because it'd be the dividend that's really the center of this. If there was nothing to be divided, then it should turn off, while if the number's not being divided, then it should just show as it. So right now we have 13 divided by 1, which will give you a whole 13, remainder 0. And if we were to do that backwards, so 4 divided by a full whatever, anything bigger than 4, is going to give you the remainder 4 down here with no quotient because it couldn't divide out. Stacking these is going to be how we're going to make our division machine, but we are also going to use, so this is 15 and under, but we also had that one other circuit that's division with base break. Well, it's subtraction with base break, but we'll show you how to do division with it later. So we did this guy. We'll do a quick show of these math circuits. I know we did a lot last one, but there's just one thing I was going to explain on this one, is that if you had yellow coming in at 15, theoretically, right? And then you had blue at, we have 1 here, but let's say it was 0. Okay, there's a problem. I'm trying to grab that book. There we go. There's a problem with my machine where you got the red, the base, you got base minus yellow first, and then subtracting blue, but it won't go through the check and it'll turn on the carryover if it can't go through the check for the blue, and it'll think that it's okay, but we're trying to do base 16. So right now we have no blue means keep yellow at 15. So that's where this comes in. If there's no blue signal coming in, this is going to send a signal over, which is going to turn off our carryover. And then this carryover is going to be 1, so that's why we have 15 minus 14 is 1. But that's just how we're going to be tallying them. So this part isn't really important, but this is kind of what I wanted to show you, is if you were paying attention to my base 16 like video parts in the past section, all the math lines up until you say 15 plus 0, and then it's like, oh, that's how you break his machine. But that is the hot fix right there, is showing that blue is 0 causes carryover not to happen, and because the carryover doesn't happen, you also shut off the other part right here. That shuts off the 15 coming from here. So instead of doing 15 minus 15, but this 15 having blue and yellow taken out of it to show the answer, you just have 15 minus nothing, which gives you the full 15. If you were to have 14 though, this machine kind of turns back on because now you got a signal coming through and it can pass blue, which turns the carryover off, while no blue is still on, which still turns the carryover off, no problem. But then you also have the signal coming through as, let's see, what are we at? 14. So 15 minus 14 is 1. And then 15 minus 1 is 14 coming through. And then you have a full 14 here. So that was the hot fix for that one. And then I just wanted to show a base 10, how small you can make this circuit if you weren't trying to go for all the base 16 stuff, because that's still not the full circuit. That's just a hot fix. It will show you how deep that goes later. But we have 6 and 6 here. Oh, keep it at 6. Turn the... why would that show? Oh, because I'm holding a book. So we're going to turn this on. These are just off switches. So 6 plus 6 is 2. So what we have here is yellow coming in. We have the base set at 10 in a pot. That way we don't have to bring the base signal in, because we're going to have calculators that have adjustable bases, which are going to be bulkier, and we're going to have calculators with a fixed base like this, which is going to reduce the size of the circuit, like big time. So that would be base 10. I'll give an overview of that. We got yellow coming in, 15 or 10 minus yellow, and then right here we got the answer being subtracted from blue, distance to get like the core math subtraction to get carry over with addition. Then this other side is just going to subtract from blue without worrying about the check, because over here we have the carryover if it goes on this side. So right now it's showing carryover. If we were to bring this down to 3, then this is coming on, so this carryover is not turning on. And then we have 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So showing that with 1 less is 8. So 6 plus 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turning off blue gives you 6 because it's just yellow. Turning off yellow and turning on blue gives you the 2 side. So that would be the circuit for base 10, or a fixed base if you're doing a different one. And that's the base 16, just the beginning of it. It gets bigger. Alright, and then lastly, on the diamond side, before we get to the nuances of signal speed, I'm going to show a signal Q. So right here is going to be my control panel of the signal that I want to put in. It's set at 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we got 4 over here. Then we have the signal coming out here, and then a torch stopping it from continuing, and then a memory circuit. So this will hold a signal in there. You could put this at subtraction mode if the signal is getting too high, but I have only signal 8 here, so really it's 15 minus 8 max, or 8 minus 15 max is, yeah, it's gonna bring it down to 0 no matter what, so it doesn't really matter. So what this is going is the hopper clock. We have an item in here. It's going to be pushed this way. It's going to go around this line, and then it's going to come back to us and then stop again after we push this button. What that's going to do is it's going to start here and shut this off so the signal can get through. And then it's going to wrap around, and then this signal is going to turn off. And this is our memory unit. And then once that signal's off, then this torch is going to let the last signal go through. So this signal is going to pop into this one. And that signal is the one that I guess is going to shoot out here if we had it wrapping around. So we do that back and forth. So we got to shut off of a signal and then let it through. Shut off, let it through. Shut off, let it through. So every let it through is being blocked right now. Every shut off will happen when the item gets to that position. And let's see it work. So we got 4 here, 6 here. So 4, 6, 3, 1, 5. Push the button. Then you'll see this guy pop off when it's there. So there. So now we just pulled the 5, the 1, the 3, 6, 4. And we could set it back to 1 and do it again. It's coming down. Item is here right now. Then 1, 3, 6, 4, and 1. So that'd be the signal Q, signal strength Q, as I have it grandly listed there. And this would be a vertical one. This I just made up recently. It was one of the last things I did for these videos. I was finishing up the end and I decided to experiment with this. So same thing. We have signal strength coming in, and we used backwards climbing. So these guys will shoot up and shoot down. So usually you face them towards each other if you're making the actual lines that I do, like these guys right here. They're facing each other. These guys are facing away, which means it becomes a circuit, or it holds a signal strength. And each level I have it shut off, so each of these will hold the signal strength, but it'll also pass through the whole tower if I'm not shutting it off. Alright, so here I have a lever on observer, so if I were to switch it, it gives a tiny pulse. So this is going to shoot signal from here all the way down. So it comes here and it comes down below. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to hit this one and shut off the signal you have. And then there's a time delay to allow the last signal on this line coming up to pass up. So again, it'll shut off, then allow the next one to pass, shut off, pass, shut off, pass. So right now we have 3, 7, 2, 2, 4, 6, 1. If we were to bring this up to 3, and we flick this real soft, it'll just go down the line and just pull up each one as you go. That was pretty quick, so I'll do it again. This thing is so fast too. So we'll switch at positions again. Just switch positions, not messing with it any further. So I just put a 5 in, and it's just going to keep going up. You can make this as tall as you want it. It only takes up that much space. Most of this is just like anything past right here and right here is just display. So you can hold the signal strength in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With this guy 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I guess 5, 6, 7 if you're having some kind of control down there. But I mean, it's really 4 by 6. This whole thing. A little overview, yeah. Got all the torches on this side. Got all these set for high. This set for low. These guys set for subtraction. This is also in subtraction on the back side. So it'd be, yeah, if you were building this higher, you just keep repeating this. So each of these are a circuit. I have target blocks here because it'll just send it straight out instead of curving in. Yeah, the backwards facing. And then this is just for the display. This white square right here is the one you need. So you can pop that out. And that's the part you need for this to work. You do not need this at all. I'll fix that later. That's just for the benefit of you to see that. But, I mean, if I were to connect this again, I would at least... I was hoping that would be a bigger signal strength. Adios, Mayo. How far are they? Anyway, that was fun. So that is the last of the diamond rank redstone. Next we'll be going into this guy right here. That's made with our smaller binary, or no, analog to binary. We'll show that off. Last thing we're going to do on this video though is check out signal speed. So right here I have a signal of 15. It's going to come out and it's going to either creep up using comparators. So this will keep the signal strength at 15 the whole time. And we're just seeing how fast it can reach the top or how fast it can run along here. This, I have the comparator block, redstone block comparator set up. So it moves forward every 4 blocks. So like it only has a tick speed here and then a tick speed here slowing it down. But the blocks and the redstone don't slow it down. As it goes up though, every block it goes up it needs a comparator. But if we're coming over here, we have our analog to binary circuit right here. And that is going to come up. That's going to go into our binary to analog circuit here. So analog to binary and then binary to analog. So it's going to show us the signal up here. So we're going to be testing the speed. And then over here we have the same thing. These binaries going into 4 lines. And we have the redstone torches here to try to speed things up. So these are off, on, off, and we're going to try to bring that over into the binary into analog. So we're going to race putting them through these circuits to try to see if switching to binary is even worth it, just for speed purposes. So first test is going across the distance, not going up. I mean, this thing kind of has to wrap around because it has to hit the circuits first, but I try to make it to where it at least used the circuit it was going through as part of its distance. So as you can see, the yellow gets to the end like right before the binary does. If you go farther, it'd probably be a different story because it seems like a lot of it is taking time because it has to go through the circuit, the analog to binary and binary to analog before it gets over there. So if the run was longer, it might be a better race. But right now it's a tie. But going up, we have the same thing. We have redstone torches going a full 15 before it switches the next one and the next one. That way we bring the binary all the way up and then switch it to analog. So I know it's kind of messed up with the sun right there. I'll try to get out of the way, but I hit the button and we see that the what is it? The binary runs right here way faster. So I step off. So those shut off. And then the comparator shuts off. Because these guys have to step up one every vertical. So you gotta tick, 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 tick all the way up here. But then this guy right here, there's just a few ticks coming through. And then 1, 2, 3 more ticks here, and then a few to get through here. And that's why this is gonna go faster. We're going to use a little bit of that in one of the calculators just for fun. But that was my explanation on speed when you're doing analog. Because we're gonna have to run a lot of wires. I'm showing you circuits right now, but that's the easiest thing to do. We're going to be putting all those circuits together in the next few videos, and we're going to be showing devices instead of circuits after a while, and that's yeah, it's going to be a hot mess, let's just say that. Alright, I'm going to end it here. It looks like I'm crashing over 40, so we'll pick it up in the, what is it called, netherite level redstone. See you next time.